Here, Connor. Do you want to hear a joke?
Go on.
Sure.
Go on.
A woman beater, a liar.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, no, start again.
Okay, sorry. Go.
What did I say it was? A woman beater, a liar, and a stupid man walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Barman says, "Well, Mr. Prime Minister, haven't seen you for a while. Play the fucking intro." Yeah, what's up, motherfucker? Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? You're all very welcome back to another episode of the Deckchair Yumz podcast with me, Deckchair, aka Mickey Bartlett, and him, Connor Keys, aka Yumz. I wrote that joke on the way up here and I fucked it up right at the start, so I'm sorry for...
And you rehearsed it.
I did rehearse it. But I know people think I just walk up and just do comedy, and I do.
You do,
but I usually go
yeah.
through it in my head a wee bit beforehand.
There's a wee bit of a wee run through.
There's just a wee bit of a fucking, wow, does that work any good? What's this here?
Here's this funny. That's all you'll hear from me.
What do you think of that?
And it always is.
Sorry, I've just got a text.
I thought you were going to show me something. I was
got a text.
Tell you what I think of that.
Balls.
Oh no! Okay, you're trying to respond to messages in the middle of a live.
Sorry, well, I'm a really, really sought after comedian.
You really are. Sought after by the fucking Dolov.
Sought after the Dolovs, the tax man. There's a private company in London that's trying to do me for not paying parking fees.
Many crisis loans do you owe?
None, man.
None? I owe a fortune.
Do you know one thing? Like, I have very little money left, obviously, because I've got an RD now. But not any debt. I've never borrowed money.
Oh, have you not?
Tell a lie. I borrowed money when I got a credit card when I was at uni, and I got a loan out one time for going to the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I've never...
Oh, very good.
I live with them in my means, do you know what I mean? Which is usually skint.
I was going to say, yeah.
So as long as I can keep the lights on, Connor, by us, the important thing.
Keep the lights on, the bats out.
My world is the four walls of that wee flat. I live like Lemmy from Motorhead. All Nazi memorabilia. The heads of Jews. Ashtrays. Gold teeth shoes.
A bottle of Goebbels Bubbles.
Yeah, a bottle of Goebbels Bubbles. Yeah, it's for the bath. Well, for the shower, but... You only really use it once. That'll be a great fake ad. Goebbels Bubbles. Do you have that? Do you have that to cleanse your sour? Of the inferior race! Goebbels Bubbles. Do you
wash yourself right? What a tagline. Wash yourself right.
That was very good. Which one of these would you be using? Mr. Matey? Nine. Use Goebbels Bubbles. Clean yourself of impurities.
We gotta make jingles and all that fucking ads.
We don't. No. And we've already had enough fucking problems.
Oh, fucking hell.
Huge Belfast Jazz fans. Now he's making jokes about Nazis.
Did I see that you are now
an ambassador for the Belfast Jazz?
An ambassador? No, you're amongst the legion of icons in the north, and one of whom is a Belfast Giants person. Are they in it? No. Did I not see a Giants?
Like, you know what the wee models?
Yeah, there was wee models. When you popped up,
there was wee models. There was me, obviously, Liam Neeson, Saoirse Monica Jackson from
okay.
Derry Girls.
I thought there was a Belfast.
Carl Frampton, the Via Lumpet fella, and then somebody else, and I can't figure out who it is. We're not sure if it's Mick Conlon or Paddy Barnes.
Oh, so it's a boxer then?
Yeah,
definitely. Okay, right.
But I don't know who it is.
For
anybody who didn't see it on my Instagram, it's just a wee dude. Me like the bit that got me all chuffed, Connor, is that it was the first release.
Yeah, you weren't in the third batch.
It wasn't like, oh, there's Geddes and Shane, Paddy. It was comedians go, I'm this guy's favourite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm suing the cunt for using my image.
Profiting from this guy's image.
Profiting, and the only people who've bought it is people I know. Like, my ma's bought one, my sister bought one, James bought one. Like people who already...
I didn't even buy one.
People who already know what I look like. Classic model of me.
They should send us a set for the table. Here,
they did send me a set. I just lived in the house. Okay. I put it up in my house.
Well, then we may as well give them a plug. So shout it out then.
Yeah, I think it's Wee Peeps. Wee Peeps. So I don't know if they're on Instagram, but it's if you Google Wee Peeps. I was very touched.
It's actually...
It was lovely. It was a genuine,
cool.
I do you know, I got myself...
I assume they didn't have enough plastic for myself, Mike.
Oh, just not at all. No, not at all. No,
I had to fit them in between a wee, because there's a wee display case and all. That's the only reason I was left out.
Aye, fuck's sake, you'd have to melt the vending machine to get the plastic out of it.
I take the crisps.
It was a weird thing. Now, this is it's going to sound weirdly arrogant, right? Not arrogant. I was just
justified.
I had an existential crisis.
Oh, right, okay.
Where I was in the house going, at what point do you think you get to go as a comedian, oh, I have fans?
Oh.
Right? Because Danny Sloss, good friend of mine, quite often talks about his fans, right?
Yeah.
But Danny Sloss tours the world, sells out rooms all over the world, Netflix, HBO, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Can't sell it at the Ulster Hall, but I find myself, I don't know if it's Catholic guilt or something, I can't ever say, I have people who come see me, I can't even call them an audience. I have to go, people who come see me.
There is that. Is it? That's. There's very few things we share in common, but that is one of the things I'm terrible to get.
The imposter syndrome.
Yeah, of any kind of praise. Mm-hmm. I don't trust it.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't belong to me.
Aye, but whenever somebody makes a wee model of you, you just go. Oh,
well, that would do it. And I have to say, that would be nice.
My sister bought one and gave it to my nephew as a toy. So it's me and Fireman Sam.
Fucking God help Fireman Sam. He'd be in fucking rehab in 4 weeks.
I'd be able to put that fire out.
He's putting it out with vodka.
Aye. I think my nephew plays these wee games where I do a gig and then Fireman Sam gets called because obviously the roof's been taken off the place.
Oh, set the roof on fire, boy. Hey?
Fucking just melted Lego everywhere.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
Exactly, yeah. The roof is on fire.
So now it's...
So yeah, it was very just. So thanks to I guess wee peeps for making me... immortalising me
in
is
plastic.
The way
of putting it on.
Because my dream was always, I remember years ago...
I wonder who's going to be in the second batch.
Who gives a fuck?
Could we get a second batch?
Second place is last place, bro.
Don't start that shit.
No, we don't. I remember having a thing. Do you know that wee wall down by the Duke of York where there's like a wall of somebody's sort of done caricatures of famous Northern Irish people? I always remember thinking, fuck, I want to get on that wall one day. Like that'll be one of the goals.
That's our Mount Rushmore.
No, I don't go fucking take the wall with me. Everywhere you go, always take a Mickey with ye. What's up, motherfuckers?
There is a display case. Did I see that right? Is there something like a circular thing?
It's a wee stand, yeah. So it's just a wee flat thing.
Did you get that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it comes with it. Comes with it, yeah.
Oh, you obviously left my...
I mean, I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, they don't use anyone's real name, so everyone else was like the People's Champ, the Champion.
What were you?
Derry. I was Sir Flex a lot. Just thought was a bit rude. Not, Archduke of Giggles or something to do with my actual comedy. It was more about my skin condition.
Oh,
so it might not be.
I didn't hear the flex. I thought you meant flex.
Flex. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's that Lurgan
right
accent.
Enough, because I'm
Sir Flex. Because you were just fucking flexing before the thing started.
I know. We're back to the gym yesterday.
No. Fucking guns are out.
I had to roll my t-shirt up 3
times.
One day,
one fucking day.
It's just swollen and sore. I'm in agony. Like,
sorry, I thought you said Sir Flex a lot, and I was like, oh well, you were flexing before.
Sir Flex a lot.
Is that what he put on it?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he really a fan?
I don't know. He seems to make me look butch as fuck. The only thing I had,
like Stockholm syndrome.
You fall in love with him. Tattoo was bang on.
Get away the
like if you look at the
I've never seen that.
The only thing that I found strange about it was my t-shirt is tucked into my jeans.
Yes,
and I never do that because it accentuates the gut.
I would know why. I would know why. All about.
I immediately. Oh, Connor, what? Do you know how I keep going? I'm not in my late 30s. I'm in my mid 30s or 35. No, and keep trying to hang on to youth.
The denial. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a moment yesterday.
Oh yeah. So
I don't know if this is a sign of getting older. Right. Obviously, I'm going bald. Right. Hair's falling out of my head. Mm-hmm. Right. And I've accepted that.
Yeah.
Fine.
You have.
I've
disguised it well.
I've disguised it by having 3 different haircuts in one head.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I've now noticed that hair's going to other places at a more rapid rate than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I'll not tell you how I noticed this, but I did notice that the hair on my anus has now crossed over.
Matted?
I would say linked.
Linked, right? You're not in dreadlock stage yet?
No, it's not dreadlocks, but it's my anus is kind of peering out through a wire fence.
Yes.
It's like a fecal reconstruction of the boy in the striped pajamas.
Oh fuck! Right, okay, yeah.
I've noticed now that I don't know if this has happened to you. I know you're 40, but I know you're actually obviously
Well, I'm 40. I know natural, so my anus looks like it's coming out of the Gorton Glens.
I'm not even.
You know what I mean?
I'm not even talking about down there because I'm down there. I'm so well groomed. It's amazing. Prince Andrew hasn't touched me. But
it's the daddies that give you away.
Yeah. What I've noticed is, I don't know if this is, what I mean is your wife's a hairdresser, so I would say you're probably quite well looked after in certain respects, in terms of, you know, above the equator group.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
My eyebrows have gotten so thick I can fucking see them, and that's disconcerting.
Yeah.
Right, because you can't see them all the time. This is when I caught myself. I was in Tesco's, right. And I was like, what the fuck's that? Is that my eyebrows? And then I caught myself, right, standing in Tesco's like this. Trying to see if I could see my own fucking eyebrows.
Looking like you took a fucking 2 dabs MDMA.
So just 20 Marble Gold and a Lucky Dip. Noticed yesterday, wee hair in my nose there, wee hairy nose, right? I was like, that's right, it's not a problem. It's happened before, I've had hairs in my nose before. Right, I'm prepared. I had a wee trimmer, right? I've got a wee trimmer it's got one for your balls. Fuck that in the bin. I mean, it's like the back of a spoon down there, right?
You're instantly hitting the wrong problem here.
Really hear what happened. This is the moment where my life fell apart.
Okay.
Right? I've got my wee nose trimmer, and I'm like, look at that, a wee go. I'm just looking in the mirror, all right? I turn it on. Bzzz. Here's what happened. Bzzz. That was the noise it made. Like deforestation. I've got some shit up my. There was coke. I haven't taken cocaine in 2 years. Finding stuff
still in the bag.
Swear to God, the Lindbergh baby or the fucking Hindenburg baby. Was it Lindbergh baby? What was that baby I'm missing? I didn't want to make a Madeline McCann joke because you know what I mean.
That was a blip.
Man, here, you want to see the size of the lump of coke came out? I'm fucked up right now. I took it again. Like it went like stuff flew out.
Oh, well, I don't want to break it to you about the ear scenario.
Oh, man, that's been happening for a while now. And my barber doesn't even... Great barber. Fair play, Jason, for making me look like I'm, you know what I mean, still with some hair left. But he hasn't
can't
done...
polish a turd, like, you know what I mean?
But you can roll it in glitter. But he hasn't done my ears.
No.
And I don't want to bring it up.
Well...
Because I don't know how to do it myself, but I've noticed my ears are like cat whiskers now. Like I can feel people approaching me from behind.
It's like a spider tingle. Yeah, they sort of stand over.
A Peter tingle or a spider sense. A spider tingle. Spider tingles when they bite you. You lose all the fucking power. Oh fuck!
Isn't it the Spidey tingle? No, Peter tingle.
It depends what.
Peter Tingle sounds like a boy who works in an office. Peter Tingle too.
Peter Tingle sounds like a paedophile from the West Midlands. Notorious paedophile Peter Tingle was caught today. I just don't like prostitutes, do I? I'll go up to a prostitute, beat her in the head with hammer. I'm Peter Tingle. He was on the news and all saying that he found the bodies. Do you know what them ones?
Turns up to the scene whenever the police are investigating in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local trolley collector Peter Tingle was at the scene. Well, I went down to the shop, but I found the bodies lying in bath. And I saw an hammer sticking out the back of one's head. I thought, that's odd. So I pulled the hammer out just to make sure. Going down a dark path here.
Yeah, going stop.
Feel a little weird.
But yeah. So the golden rule I'm going to say to you
Tingle's
is
the name. The problem. Pedophilia is the game. How do?
No, we're going to Savile. We're in Savile fucking territory.
Pizza Tingle. How do?
The protege. So the shaving is the problem. So you really shouldn't do that because it's going to come back tenfold.
See, it doesn't. That's a myth. Do you know what happens whenever you shave stuff? It's not that it comes back thicker. It's that the way hairs grow, they have a slight point on them, and when you shave it, you're essentially cutting. So imagine
it grows back
a tree.
Quicker.
No. If you imagine a tree, right, and you cut a tree in half, you've now got a flat.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So it feels thicker, but it's actually just the same. Science!
I'll have to
telling you, I've read extensive articles on hair loss. Trust me.
The ear thing really get me, but I don't. I pluck them. Yeah,
you're savage.
I won't go at them with the.
You couldn't have plucked the ones around my nose yesterday, like.
Well, then they're supposed.
The jaws of life couldn't have pulled that shit out.
If they're not past the nostrils.
Oh, these were. I thought I was combing them, and then that's not my beard. My beard's turning black.
If they're not past the nostrils, I wouldn't be shaving them. No.
Oh no,
they're there to collect the shit.
I had to get them out, man. It was just fucking. But it was the sound.
That's when you know.
And to be honest with you, I don't even think I did the other nostril. I was that afraid. In fact, I fucking didn't. Now that I think about it, I'm not showing you, but I only did the one.
You one full of snot and the other one's not.
It's very, it's like
that is a middle. Have you? Let's talk about the other things because this is comedy, Mick, in 5 years' time. The other things at 40. What about?
Can't look at women in the street anymore. I can't be all.
No,
hey, shorty.
You really can't do that when you're 25, Mick. Let's be honest. You couldn't.
Hey, how you doing, girl? Hey, shorty.
They're going, there's a boy around here.
I don't go.
And he's American, and there's something fucking mental.
No, if there's not me, I say, well, daughter. You know?
What about middle of the night bathroom breaks?
No, dead on so far. But I do.
I remember at 35, 36 or 7 is coming, Mick.
I do go to the toilet before I go to bed anyway.
So do I.
Shit. You want to get a finger up there and see what's going on?
You might have to go.
There's certain things that like I am afraid of getting old. Like I'm not afraid of dying. Mm-hmm. I'm terrified of getting old. Right? And
do you mean terrified of getting old as in your body getting old, or getting old as in becoming irrelevant?
Oh no, body getting old. I'm irrelevant anyway. I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? We're all irrelevant, man. Do you know what I mean? And this big, we're on a spinning fucking planet. Do you know what I mean?
We're all just made of stars.
What's the chances of being born with an egg and it's like 1 billion to 1?
Oh, something.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm having a great time, right? But
you're you because you're meant to be you.
Exactly.
Oh.
I remember one time being in, me and Geddes were in our 20s, and there was a guy at the urinal who clearly had prostate problems, and when he was pissing, he was going, yeah, and trying to force the piss out.
Aye.
And I have dreaded that happening to me ever since.
I know somebody in my family who has to self-catheterize every couple of days and does it himself, and the man's in his 70s, and I'm going, I don't want to do
there's certain...
I don't want to do that.
I'm very up for, listen, I don't agree with suicide, I think it's wrong, but would you kill me? Do you know what I mean?
Immunity?
If they're like,
immunity for you, if you'll get immunity.
Yeah, I don't want to kill you. Tell you what to do. You hold the gun and I'll put my hand on the... You see? Right? Follow me. Here we go. Right? Don't you be looking now. Right? I'll put my thumb in here. You're 1, 2, 3. Like...
Because it can't be suicide for the life insurance.
Yeah.
So it has to be...
Life insurance. I haven't insured my life.
Have you not?
Nah.
It's an important life to insure, Mike.
I haven't insured no range.
You know, nothing.
You know what I mean?
Nobody give a fuck about that.
Exactly. I'm free. Free falling.
Well, the thing is, you're going to be alone then when you're older, and you are.
Now that bit I can't wait for.
You're alone now.
That's man. There's a difference. No,
you're alone. You're alone now, and you can still walk into a pub and have a heap of pints and have the crack. But when you're 50 and you're alone,
you can still walk into a carry out and just fucking shit yourself in the zone. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
There is a big time, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm quite good at my own company.
So I love my own company, yeah, but that's because I've been surrounded by.
Yeah, I suppose I'm good at my own company because I've got used to do it. You know what I mean? Life on the road. Do you know what I'm saying?
But now you've a love interest.
Aye, but I mean, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Who wants a woman about when you can be by yourself?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Well, can we clip this and just keep note of this?
No, we're not clipping this one. We're not clipping this one. But you know yourself, I'll say this as I get older, right? And this isn't a misogynist thing. This isn't. It's not even a generalization. This is just something I've noticed, right? Every fucking man I know, and we've talked about it before, but every man I know who's in a relationship with a woman has a room in his house where he just fucking sits there and by himself. Actually, you have a shed. My dad has the wee living room.
I was going to say I'm more.
Anybody else I know has 2 living rooms.
I'm not even allowed in the house.
Aye. Do you know what I mean? Colin Geddes after building a fucking studio so he can just sit.
Just to get out.
Aye.
Yeah.
Like that's every fucking man I know who's in a relationship with a woman. There comes a point where he's just going, I'm just going to have to sit in here. I'm just going to have to sit in here.
I know. But you
and you go, oh my God, I love
But you don't get to see live ditties that aren't your own.
And what you do?
No, you don't.
You buy a VR headset, you fucking do.
Nah.
I've seen some shit that put hairs in your back.
Not live.
So you're saying the only reason you're with your wife is for ditties? You're a piece of shit, Connor. That's what you are. You're a piece of shit.
For companionship. And
is that what you call the left one?
And the right one is loyalty, because it's the bigger one. And that's what happened.
The Bruce Lee thing.
No, I mean it is weird because the whole. You're right in that sense. I mean, I know nearly every couple I know from my mother, father downwards, age wise. They do sit in separate rooms.
I think you genuinely have to. Like
it's just because we have such different, varying interests in TV, and that's ultimately what it boils down to.
Also, I think there's did you see Chris Rock's Tambourine special?
Yes.
There's a bit in that where he talks about relationships, and I think it's very apt. And then his parents were married for fucking 40 odd years, whatever it was. And he went, the reason they stayed together was because my dad would leave for work at 6:30 in the morning, and they wouldn't talk until 8 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
He's like, the kids could have died, and he wouldn't have found out until he came home. And I think that's one of the things now.
Yeah,
is like
change now.
You might have to text and fucking FaceTime and all these different all during the day. And you're like, by the time it comes to actually being in the same room together, you're like, what the fuck do you want me to say to you?
The good thing is, me and Emer's been together since we're 17. So
Aye,
phones had literally just come out. So it wasn't part of the culture.
Aye.
And it's not something. So if you were to go with somebody now, even if you met somebody 25 plus or 30 plus, they're going to have experience of that dating site or dating culture where you're constantly texting and your whole initial conversations are all that we didn't have that.
Aye,
that was
that's
all
a beautiful thing.
Face to face thing.
Definitely beautiful.
So we have no. I'm currently at the moment home alone. I'm doing I'm Kevin McAllister in it all with Ruby, and the other fucking woman in the house, but she's doing me fucking nothing. So yeah, it does feel weird. I feel like a bit of freedom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starfish in the bed and stuff. You know what I mean? Just fucking doing whatever I want. Leaving the shower head up at the highest notch.
Yeah.
I see that. I see you're paying attention there in the middle of a fucking podcast. He takes out the phone to message.
Sorry, I just had to fucking reply to this.
You don't have to. You know what I mean? Nothing's that important, Mickey. I was exposing myself to you. And you just completely ignored it.
Yes, you can leave the shower head up to the top because there's another woman in your house now. You leave the shower head up to the highest, and you can do things that you can't do when Emer's about.
Anyway, moving on.
No, continue.
Nah, stick it up your fucking
I'm sorry,
shite
I had to
hole.
listen. I'm a very sought after comedian. I'm very sorry.
You keep saying that, but I know I could see who you were writing it to. It wasn't anybody fucking do your comedy work. Anyway,
it was I. It was fucking Holly from the Laughter Lunch.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You were looking at naked daddies. You're looking at fucking daddies again.
Mental slap comfrey.
You dirty bastard. You're a one cunt too. Fuck you.
No, you can't. Do you know what? If the amount of acting you've done, you think you know how to do it.
So yes, like a cunt.
So like when Emer's not there, do you sit in the living room or do you still go to the shed?
I was still going to the shed, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because that's my habitat.
Of course.
Fucking piece of shit. Why do we buy this? Mick?
Do it again. You still go to the shed?
Yeah.
Because why do you just to stay
just to stay in my own habitat?
Smoke weed every day.
We'll cut that in properly.
No, we never do.
No, we never do.
But yeah, so it's been a fucking it's been a weird one this whole week. But it does be.
How weird, Connor?
I don't think you really want me to go into the details. That's what it felt like at one point.
Oh shit.
That's Ruby.
Finally.
That was her shouting at me this morning. No, there's so she's away to Spain for the week, her and her sister. Perk there 2 fucking days at international airport.
You were saying that's
flight cancelled. Not because of the EasyJet stuff for the staff. This was fucking, I don't know, 2E or whatever you call that cunting thing.
Oh fuck, I'm flying in Tenerife.
So they damaged the plane loading luggage on. You're like, what type of... Were they fucking flinging it from the ground up into it?
That's fucking vibrators. That's vibrators when we're going on hen parties. That's inflatable men.
Well, she's back on Sunday and I can't fucking wait because I'm ready to fucking kill somebody. But...
when do you get your week away in Spain?
Well...
When did Deckchair and Yumz go abroad?
Well...
Like Holy Fools and Horses.
This is next, Mick. So then what was said to me was, you should get away. And I says, well... Me and Mickey's been talking about doing a podcast in Amsterdam, and they were like, you should definitely go. And I was like, oh, all right.
Aye. It seems as well, I don't know if you know, there's some of the rules and change when it comes to traveling.
I know. I'm okay, you're not. No, I'm not. Right.
I'm totally okay.
No, yeah, we're
Me
fine.
and you in Amsterdam doing a podcast.
My ass will be out wet.
No, that's me and you trying to get through security.
All right, okay.
You shy, I've had the look at you two boys and I think you have something smuggled in your Danish.
That's just the
Do you
way.
think we're taking stuff into Amsterdam? Yes, you look very suspicious. Are you
Here,
Sean
man.
Connery? Yes, I am.
Here, mate, you don't take sand to the beach.
That's very good.
It's the way out. It's going to be the problem.
Isn't it weird? Anytime I've left Amsterdam, even though I know of nothing on me, you do be
You
like,
still have that eye. I think it's because of years where I did have stuff on me that it stays with you, that fear.
aye,
In my younger days when I was foolish and all the rest, I would have...
just forgot.
I always had this thing, right? Do you know, it's like you have the scenario played out in your head.
Uh-huh.
Now that I'm older, I realize, what the fuck was I doing? It was not worth it at all. Well, maybe it might have been. But the fear of when you're walking through an area, like there's nothing like it when you have actually taken something with you.
Aye.
The fucking fear is unbelievable. So I don't do that anymore because of the fear. But yeah, so my whole routine in my head was, right, try and play out the scenario, act out, you've been stopped. So I never pack anything, right?
Okay.
I throw it all in.
Yes.
Right? If there is anything, it's always in the pocket of a pair of jeans. Yeah. Never hidden in a fucking, never hidden away.
Aye.
So then it's a case of, oh, fuck, man, we were late for the fucking plane. I just fired everything and I totally forgot that. Now, if it's 3 ounces in a pocket of jeans, there's a problem. You know what I mean? But I mean, they didn't find the other pair. But
they didn't find the gram up my ass.
No.
Yeah, because I remember coming through Amsterdam one time. There was a guy who had just same thing. He just like his grinder and whatever else was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You can't take these with you." And he was like, "Oh no, oh really? No way." She was like, "Come on now, sir. You know you can't do this." And I thought fair play to him because I thought,
yeah,
I kind of half thought you just get done straight away.
Not there, that side. On the other side here, you probably would have done like.
Aye.
I just remembered. I don't know if I should tell this story because I probably still could get arrested. Could I? No, 20 years ago. No.
Depends what it's for. Murder, yes.
So, about. No, can't even tell the story. Right?
Oh, fuck's sake.
So, about 6 or 8 weeks after 9/11. Exactly.
Okay.
You imagine how strict airport, right? I was living in London, going to visit family over in Indiana. And again, like a stupid fucking 20-year-old stupid cunt, I was like, I'll take a wee bit away from me just in case. I'm like, what? Oh, you don't mind.
Right.
Again, bringing sand to the beach. What the fuck are you doing? So I was living with a girl who worked in the Irish Embassy and I had no passport. She got me a passport.
Right.
Literally went to work that morning, came home with a passport, and I was like, fucking good woman.
Class.
Right, so I got the passport. It was a whole handling. You know that fucking shit about short and long birth certificates and all that balls. So my ma had to send it from home, all that sort of shit. So that was all right. So again, I had the whole scenario in my head. This time it wasn't the rush packing because that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're going somewhere. So I had a pair of, I'll never forget, Darth Maul cufflinks.
Cool.
From the pine shop. Right,
even cooler.
Right, and if you flicked open the
Darth Maul,
if you flicked up the case that held them underneath, I put a wee bag underneath there.
Right, okay,
and put them on top. Right, my story was, this is the mental things you do in your head when you're a fucking drug addict, right? So the thing was, I'll suck your dick, man. So my story in my head was, oh fuck, man, they belong to my. I just lifted them from my roommate's room. I just lifted the box. It's not mine. So I was all right. So I fly out to Chicago Airport. Now again, the airport fucking security at this stage, because it's only like, you're talking November, so what, 7 weeks on 9/11. And I get to Chicago and I'm standing at the fucking conveyor belt for the luggage, knowing I have this in my bag, and the boy walks along with the sniffer dog, and the sniffer dog stops at me and starts barking. And I'm like, oh, holy fuck. And he said, can I see your bag? And I was like, yeah. He opens the bag. The dog was barking at an apple that just took off the fucking plane.
Right.
So I was like, oh my fucking God, it's an apple. So I was right, got the apple. And then he looked at my passport. He's like, security again. Why have you only got your passport 2 weeks ago? But I was like, oh. And then I just done it full. What you should do in any foreign country is full Tyrone it.
Aye.
I was like, oh, just what happened was my ma had a long birth certificate and she sent it over to Link, and I had to wait 2 weeks and I had to get the delay. And your boy was like, oh, okay, sir, have a good day. He hadn't a fucking clue. What I said. And if I could have seen the CCTV of that, like I mean Casper White, I could feel.
Oh, there's nothing scarier, like, yeah.
I could feel everything draining from my body, going, my fucking God. And then, like, you're running through the whole thing, going, fucking Chicago prisons.
Aye.
Fat boy like me, I'd be fucking.
Oh my God!
Pass around like the fucking weight I was taking in.
Squeezing them together, 100%.
Oh my God!
I would love to tell you the sisters didn't touch Connor that evening.
Oh man, I swear. So my Pablo Escobar days are long behind me.
I once.
Have you ever done that drug smuggling?
No. But I told you.
What did I tell you about? Sorry.
Right. Didn't even hurt anyway.
Done it
back at the gym.
I've done it too many times in my younger years. Right.
Right.
Cut to about 3 years after this, I'm going to Manchester to watch United match. And
Come on, you Blues.
yeah. So again, as a very experienced somebody would have, I thought, right, oh fuck, okay. So I had this plastic kind of like a tube that had just for joints going into, but it was plastic. So I was like, I'll put it in my pocket.
I remember the tube.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll put it in my pocket, and then when I go through security, it doesn't beep because it's plastic or whatever.
Aye.
So I'll just have it here in my pocket. So, and again, that lapse of fucking concentration, standing in the queue, as I handed my fucking rucksack over to this conveyor belt, I was like, now should point this out. This is Derry Airport.
Right, would you be grand?
What do you hear? This is Derry Airport. Hand the bag over. As I'm walking through the fucking security beeper, I realised, oh fuck, I didn't put the thing in my pocket. I left it in the bag.
Right.
Got through the scanner. Boy says to me, is this your bag? I went, uh-huh. He went, over the side, please, sir. I was like, okay, same thing. If the CCTV footage, the fucking colour went into me. So the guy, sorry, Derry Airport, right? So the guy opens my bag. He had to Manchester this weekend, so I was like, I'm over to United match. I'll give man. Looked through the bag, seen the plastic tube, opened the plastic tube, seen it was like a couple of pre-rolled joints, closed the bag up again, zipped it up, and have a good weekend, sir. And I was like, only in fucking Derry Airport.
I bet you there's somebody listening to this works in Derry Airport going, that's fucking Davy. I'm fucking telling you now, hey, that's fucking Davy, the fucking weed smoker, hey. Derry Airport.
So never again. Too many scares. Yeah.
Derry Airport always freaks me out. That I've flown from it a couple of times, and maybe I told this before. They've got the Amelia Earhart Lounge.
Yeah.
Their private lounge is named after a woman who got in a plane and died.
It's like calling the Jimmy Savile crash.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Gary Glitter School of Rock for kids.
It's like called the Duke of Edinburgh Award. This year's award for keeping their fucking mouth shut goes to. I've had a problem with that. I ever come back from the Edinburgh Festival one time and had a nightmare. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but first time I'd done the Fringe, literally ran out of money, and I bought an open return ticket.
Right.
For the bus and boat, right? But I thought open return meant you could just walk up and go, I can get on this whenever I want.
Oh, there's not. No.
You have to book like a specific
okay, right.
back.
Just have the book, yeah.
So I hadn't done that, and literally I didn't even have a tenner. Like I had no money, and I was still I still think I still had a fucking credit phone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it was a fully like I am fucked here. Like, so get to the bus stop and the girl's like, you have to book onto it. I'm going, look, I'm fucking skint. Like I have nowhere to stay. All my mates have left. I'm absolutely broke. And she went, we'll talk to the driver and see if he let you stay on the bus, right? So I'll go over to the driver and mate, told him the whole story. And he's like, you borrow the blenders, mate? And I was like, yes, I am. And he was like, on you get. And he goes, now when we get to like Ayr, you're going to have to maybe sit on the steps because there's picking a fucking crowd of ones up at like a Butlins type of situation, right?
Right, okay.
So this is how stressful the day was. So the bus gets to Ayr, pick all these fucking... No, tell you, the bus broke down at Ayr, right?
Right.
So I had to get another bus. And he comes straight over to me. He's like, listen, if the driver asks you for a ticket or anything, just say you fucking can't find it. Whatever, right? So I end up on this packed, right? Running late for the bus. The bus is getting fucking delayed. We get to Kernran as the boat's leaving. Oh. And I'm like, fuck me. And they gave us all like a £5 food voucher, but everything cost like £8. So I was just starving. I was like, this is like 12 hours in the travel, right? But we're queuing up to go onto the bus, and the cops had the wee sniffer dogs with them. And the dog just sat down beside me. And I was that stupid. I thought the dog would bark or go mental. But the dog just sat down. And I'm like, hello, puppy. Hello. Oh, so good boy. Oh, so good boy. And the cops were like, come here a second there. And in fairness, it just shows you the difference between like she was like, what, why are you traveling? I was like, oh, I've just finished the Edinburgh Festival. And she was like, oh, you performing at it, Sonny? And I was like, was yeah. She's like, very good. I go down sometimes. It's nice and that. And just basically like, do you know what? You probably just got cash in your pocket that has drugs on it because of the festival. Right. So away you go.
And they belong to you.
Yeah. And I was like, dead on, whatever. Got on the boat. Fucking still shit myself going through.
Well, I was going to say, because you've no cash.
I had literally no money. And I'm like, where the fuck? And then I looked in my pocket and there's a big fucking massive joint that I just completely forgot about.
Fuck.
And then spent the whole time walking around to see if anyone could see me on the boat. Like,
I've never been on. I've been on a ferry since primary school. Can you I think you can go out for a fag.
I've also been through several airports and then put my hand in my pocket of the jacket that I wore several times and found stronger than weed, but less than heroin.
Yeah.
No, not an actual amount, but I found the container that it comes in.
Aye, but that's actually
been like.
Aye, but that's not as bad as knowing you're doing it.
Oh yeah.
Inadvertently doing it, like I can understand that, but knowing you're doing it, you're sitting and like this. Oh, the
I've walked
fear.
up to airport security after not having gone to bed, and been like, they're going to take one look at my fucking pupils and go, "This guy's and get on the plane." Like terrified.
There, that's the kids are teaching comedy there.
Like when you're in the queue and you're constantly checking your pockets.
Aye. Yeah.
Even though everything's in your
jacket.
In the tray.
If you're doing it right, it should be in your jacket.
Yeah.
Everything should be in your jacket.
Get through an airport like that.
Straight through. I pride myself. You like that too?
I'm amazing at it. I'm amazing at it.
Expert at it.
I was on the ferry at the weekend. I don't know if I told you.
Well, I want to find out about the Grand Tour. We want to call it that. How the fuck did you survive? Because let's start from the start. So we kick off from Lurgan.
I'll tell you right now, I'm still exhausted.
Right. So we start from Lurgan.
I'm trying to think of what gigs I did last week. So we did the podcast on Tuesday.
We did it after the night in Derry.
Yeah. So I was in Derry Monday, right? Did the podcast on Tuesday. Wednesday night I was in Lavery's. Thursday night I drove from Lurgan to Galway.
Yeah.
Did a set in Galway. Drove back to Lurgan, right? Initially I started to think Google Maps trying to kill me on the drive back from Galway, right?
Where did it take you? Where?
So as I'm driving back, I took the back roads down, right? Thought, you know what, it's a nice wee day. Get a nice drive in the new motor. Put it through its paces, right? Got down about 4 hours, whatever it was. After the gig, I was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to fucking hit the motorway and bomb up it, right? So I hit the motorway at 11:30. Google Maps was like, you'll be home about 3. After about 20 minutes of driving, Google Maps was like, you'll be home 2:15. Where you're right? I was flying, sir.
We're flying?
Flying, right?
Fucking right.
Then Google Maps.
Were you in a fucking Concorde?
No, I was in
some reduction in fucking travel time.
I was in the Bartmobile. My excuse was, oh, sorry, I was reading this in miles per hour.
Yeah, you run through the story in your head. No, it's not fucking.
You're doing 120. Is that not what I'm supposed to be doing?
Is that not KM?
Is that not what it is? I don't understand these German cars. Officer. And then because I'm in a fucking TT, he'd go, oh, this boy's going to suck my cock. No. How's it going, daddy? So, also, real quick, right? Now, this isn't a bitching thing.
No.
Right?
Wouldn't be bitching from you.
Talking to a comedian who shall remain nameless, right? And really took the wind out from underneath McConnor about my wee car, right?
Oh, no.
Now, I've been taking some sticker with the wee car, and it's grand, right? So a wee part of me is like, the wee part of me represents a wee bit of success, right? I've said it before, it represents every hard gig.
And I would even go further and say it also represents a wee bit of your personality.
I agree with you, right? I
Flash, but sturdy.
Big ass.
Big ass, but difficult to get into.
Aye, yes, very hard to get into. Even harder to get away from. Right. But comedians are really nameless, but I'll say this, he's from Cork, so I'm going to do the accent wrong, right? And straight away he was like, how's the new cowboy? And I'm like, oh yeah, great one, great. He's like, what'd you get? It's an Audi, is it? And I was like, yeah. And as I went to say an Audi TT, he went, what is it, an A5, an A6, was an A7? And he just kept naming better things than the car I have. And then I was like, no, it's a TT. And he went, oh, TT, what is it, a Quattro? Is it a 3 litre? What is it fucking, does it fly? Is it a submarine? Has it got, and I'm like, no, it's just a wee 2 litre TT. I was just gutted that his imagination outweighed my actual capabilities. But anyway.
Is it Quattro, no?
No, it's an S-Line Ultra.
Oh, it's an Ultra.
Were you not listening the last 3 weeks?
Sure, it's all came flooding back to me there.
So, driving back from Galway, get to just before Dublin, I think.
Okay.
Google Maps text me
off the motorway. Across and then up.
Text me off the motorway through every fucking back road. Now, well lit back roads, weird. There wasn't too many like sort of dodgy ones, right? So got back to Lurgan at about 3, went to bed, got up about 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, drove up to Belfast to get the boat. Boat was delayed, so I had to just sit in the fucking queue for 8. Couldn't even sleep because it was like, oh man, I'll not wake up in time to get on the boat. Got on the boat, had a couple hours kip, got off at Kernran, had then.
Do you kip in the boat or kip in the car?
I go straight into the quiet lounge.
Are you not allowed to be in the car when the boat's going?
No.
Okay.
But you pay, it was like £5 to pay for the wee quiet lounge that has like a recliner seat. Like reclined seat. Do you know what I mean? You can sleep on it. So now
are you a snorer?
I don't know. I put noise cancelling headphones on. I will say this: got an erection in my sleep.
Excellent. Must have been the waves and stuff.
Like a little boy. Like, now thankfully in that sort of situation, I was so tired, I wasn't sleeping like on my back like a grown up.
Okay.
I had curled up into a ball like a fucking toddler.
That's good enough, aye.
But woke up with quite the stiffy. Like, do you know whenever you get a root in your jeans and the zip's hurting you a wee bit?
Would you not be fear because of you being the celebrity you are? Would you have the fear that you've been sleeping and touching it while you've been sleeping and somebody's videoing you and you wouldn't even know?
Nah,
like it's probably going viral somewhere now.
I had my hands in my hoodie pocket.
Oh, okay.
So I could just sort of over the top and hold it. I could cup it a wee bit.
Cup it a wee bit. Oh, give her a bit of warmth.
Like that, but I wasn't stroking her.
No.
You'll notice there I used two hands.
You see that, aye.
Because the girth of it. It's like a tin of Coke.
It is.
The old ones, not the new ones.
Oh,
Anna Connor couldn't swallow that bastard, whoever she is. So woke up with an erection on the boat. And do you know one of those when you wake up in the morning erections where you're like, this isn't going away, it's like a brick.
It's a piss hard on.
Yeah. But it wasn't a piss hard on because I didn't piss. It was like a.
Oh, right.
It was like my dick was going, I need to bulk.
Did you have any erratic thoughts while you were sleeping?
Erratic? A couple of mad ones.
Erratic?
No.
Erratic.
Actually, it was one of those, I was so tired I didn't dream. I think my willy was like, I might have been dying in my sleep and my dick was like, I'll save you.
Your dick was like, there's movement, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Just looking out, maybe see what the crack was.
But it was, do you ever get them wee hard-ons when you were sleeping, your willy's kind of like pressed up against your jeans, so it's like, it's not the full length of your willy.
You know, like a child that
falls spread out.
Like a child that falls asleep into the couch with their face is half buried into it and it just doesn't move.
It's like if you stand on jelly softly, kind of.
I can't do that. I can't stand on things softly.
Anyway. So
physics won't allow it.
And I hate jelly, so that was a bad analogy.
Coleslaw. Imagine putting your bare feet in the thing and got coleslaw. The feeling of it. But seriously, the crunch as well, along with the mayonnaise, that will be mental.
The crunch will be coming up my feet as well too.
Imagine a wee bit of carrot coming up through your wee toe and your fourth toe, like in through the gap.
I hate that wee bit of between toes.
Oh man, I would eat it off you, Mike.
You wouldn't when you end up with crisps in your mouth.
Psoriasis. Oh.
So yeah, back to the road trip. So I drove in from Cairnryan to Newcastle with a hard on.
And your cock was erect too.
Yeah, I had to hang out the window of the car.
Your car is a motorised hard on.
Yeah, it's a vasectomy on wheels. So yeah, got to Newcastle.
How long was that drive?
4 hours and a bit.
Oh man, is your back not broke?
We sent to James as well because it's a diesel car, and a diesel clutch is slightly higher than a petrol one. My hip's sore, and I'm like, I'm noticing as well that there's the way the steering wheel's shaped. If I don't have the wheels straight, I have to like get in the car, shove my legs onto the steering wheel, like whoop.
Oh, come back here! What are you doing to yourself?
Looking cool, man.
You're going to walk like an 85-year-old next year. No, it's not going to look cool.
It's just because the clutch is a wee bit higher. I had to get used to a higher. I would have if I went from any petrol car to a diesel car.
Having to shove your leg underneath the steering wheel?
That's German engineering. But anybody that's not a midget will have to do that in that car. Like, I don't mind it. I love it.
On a serious note, but I mean, it's not going to be good for your whole back and your posture. Like that.
Oh no, it's fine because I've got the seat figured out now. I've sorted it out. Because it's a lovely car to drive. Plus, listen, who else in the world is going to be in an Audi TT for 14 hours of a weekend? Which is what I done it. Yeah. No, I did more.
That's what I was going to say. Would you not prefer a car that's more comfortable?
Well, I wasn't intending on fucking sleeping on it. It was just the travels got too expensive. It was a one weekend thing. It's not every weekend. I haven't got rid of my flat and went, nah, I'll live here, sure. Although I did think about it.
Here's the thing, right? You're 35 years of age. How long have you been
35 years young.
How long have you been doing comedy?
14 years.
14 years. So in 14 years, when you got to a fucking car sales showroom or a forecourt, you couldn't figure out, do you know what? There's times when I might be, doing gigs. I might have to sleep somewhere. Wonder where I'll sleep. I'll sleep in the back seat of the TT.
To be completely honest with you, the day that I was buying an Audi TT, I thought those days are behind me. I bought the Audi TT because I thought it was being a bit of a success. I didn't realise that a week later I was going to be eating a fucking cold sausage roll in a fucking sports car thinking, you know what? I should have stayed in school or got a fucking job in a bank. I thought the existential bit of comedy was over. I didn't realise sometimes life comes back to kick you right in the bollocks. And I was sitting there watching my hairline fucking recede in a hairdresser's car with a fucking Red Bull filled with cigarettes in it. I thought I was past it. I thought 3 Ulster Halls of a waterfront on sale. I'm doing 2 tours a year. Fuck's sake, I'm doing all right. I forgot that only exists in the north of Ireland and fucking nowhere else.
Oh, we have it pretty sewn up here now, in fairness. We don't realise how fucking lucky we are. I think it's only whenever...
See people know, like, oh yeah, I'm a comedian. I'm a real comedian. I'm a real fucking crying in the middle of the night, fucking lying listening in a travel lodge with no Wi-Fi where 2 fucking Polish people buck their way through the wall. I'm a proper comedian. I mean, I've seen people shit in the street. Things you wouldn't believe.
I do remember.
I just hate being a real comedian. I wish it was a famous one.
I was going to say, you are probably out of all of us, probably the only one who's an actual comedian in the sense of the business.
That's absolute bullshit.
No, I mean of the business sense.
No. I am a fucking idiot who likes to think people will respect my art when I'm dead, so I'll go through hard things I don't need to go through.
But
just because.
Well, say before the Renaissance period, if you want to call it that, which has happened the last 5 years or so. Before that, but you were the only one who was gigging extensively across the water.
Aye.
And not doing your own. You know, we could probably, I don't know, maybe we could put a show on somewhere in England, but it would be people coming to it who listen to this, whereas you were going to comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And going, you know, it wasn't your own show, it was constantly gigging. I remember Martin Moore, you know Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember him putting up a thing saying, I look forward to the Fringe every year because that's my holiday.
Yeah.
It's the only time of the year for 26 days in a row I wake up in the same bed.
Aye.
And I was like, oh fuck, I never thought, because you're constantly in hotels, you're moving all the time if you're an actual comedian. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that. I can't. Well, physically couldn't do it because of my kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking that's the main aim, apart from the fucking stadiums and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to be a gigging working comedian, you're gonna have to go from Edinburgh to London to Liverpool to
the trade side of it. I forgot what that was like, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have it here. We don't know what it's like.
But I think even like because of the pandemic and all that sort of shit, and then going back to gigging where it's all within an hour.
Yeah.
Or further I've got Galway or Dublin or whatever else, but
you're still not taking a plane or a boat.
Yeah. And I forgot how much it costs to do stand up. Like I gigged pretty much every night last week and didn't make an awful lot of money. We need to take away all the travel expenses. So yeah, it's like you.
And is that a genuine thing when you're saying about taking those bookings in the stand and stuff? Is that to keep yourself known over there, or is that to hone your skill, or is that
that's a bit of everything? Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like like because I'm closing them now as well. You get to go in and there's 300 people on a Saturday night who've never seen you before.
Yeah.
So one, there's 300 people that walk away going, "Fuck, he was good." Mm-hmm. 2, you get to look at a bunch of other comedians and go, "What the fuck are you doing here?" The fuck.
And tell us, what is the quality over there at the moment?
Man, it's, to be completely honest with you, I don't know. I hope this isn't fucking.
Talk to me afterwards.
Yeah.
You know when you dance around things like this is going to cause trouble for somewhere along the line.
To be honest, I don't know if comedy clubs are built to survive the current sort of financial situation.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of clubs that put the money up.
Yeah.
The money hasn't filtered down to the comedians.
Okay. Yeah.
So there was in the fucking good old days before we started, club comedians could be making 50-60 grand a year with the same set even. Yeah. Right.
But you were on that Martin Moore lifestyle of going around and everything.
But you were still making a fucking fortune, and the money you were getting paid for the gig, like you were getting 250 quid in 1980 something. You're getting 250 quid now. Yeah. In fact, you're not even getting that sometimes. So the money doesn't go as far. So the ability to be a fucking working club comic is, to me, I don't know if it will exist much longer. I've seen a lot of comedians sort of complain about it. They're like, this is getting too hard to do. The one good thing about clubs is, for a lot of them, the sort of woke side of things, the box ticking side of things, for the good ones, isn't really there.
Right, okay.
They did it for a while. Like, okay, we'll let you on. And then, not to say that there aren't people, obviously everybody's fucking, there's funny people and there's shit people, but there were shit people getting gigs because they were taking a box.
Yeah. Yeah, funny's funny.
And that's the way it is. So the one good thing about comedy clubs is you very rarely find anybody getting offended at something that's said in a club.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you do, the audience are always like, shut the fuck up.
Yes, the audience are.
And weirdly, in comedy clubs, the people who get offended are straight white men. Do you know what I mean? I was sitting in in Newcastle on Saturday night two like women in a same-sex relationship holding hands, and I'm fucking making fun of everybody, and they were pissing themselves. Like the kind of thing where I did like that, the joke I do about the trans joke.
Yeah.
And I like kind of like looked at them like, is that all right? I know you're not trans, but like as a representative of the LGBTQ, like not too far.
Oh, so somebody complaining, did they?
No, fuck no.
Who was offended, did you say?
No, I'm just saying like.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought
like,
somebody was. You were
yeah, like what I tend to notice is that the people that are offended are straight white guys.
Fuck them.
Yeah, but
They've caused enough damage, them straight white.
there's no glad I never was one. But yeah, it was just back to that. It was the first time in a long time where I was like, "Fuck, this actually is kind of hard." But I also love it. Like I love driving. I love being on my own.
Same as that. You see, I do love driving, and I love being on my own, and I love getting away. But I don't know if I could.
You couldn't do it every week.
I definitely couldn't. You couldn't do that. I couldn't do it in an Audi TT. But every week, no, I don't know. Again, it must be an age thing. As you're getting a bit older, you sort of do like your own home comforts, and you want to get back to your home.
I wouldn't even say it's an age thing. I think it's more a case of just when you do a couple of fucking big shows, which your own are. Doing 25 minutes in a club isn't really a challenge, it's a treat. Yeah. Because you're fucking destroying it.
Yeah.
So you end up in a weird thing of like...
And you can do greatest hits if you want to, because you're over the audience don't know you.
So you end up in a weird situation where you're going, and I hate to say it, but like creatively, you're going, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
I need something that's a bit more of a challenge.
Okay, right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then every so often you'll go to clubs in England or even in Ireland and you'll see someone who's doing the same set for the last 10, 15 years and you think, what? Just quit. You're taking up somebody's space who's actually trying.
Yeah.
I think I'm a wee bit of a purist when it comes to stand-up. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll try to have, if I'm doing libraries every week, I'll try to have at least one new bit. Yeah,
you're very prolific in your writing, definitely. And
I should write it down though.
I always say it's because you fuck all else to do with your time.
Well, but it's also
just you can do it. Like I mean, if you get time, you're constantly writing. You may not physically have a pen to paper, but you constantly have the headspace to write in your head. You'll think of things over and over, and then you'll make, you'll say to me, "Is this funny?" And you'll do a bit, and the next thing you see on stage, you go, "That's not what he fucking told me." It's fucking he's added in fucking lines. I can't. What's going? You know what I mean? But that's.
But I think it's just a thing of like because I always had a thing when I started stand up. Like you'd be in the pavilion or the Empire or wherever, and I would be looking at whoever else is on stage and going, "Am I funnier than him?" And if I wasn't, I wouldn't sleep. So. A lot of people say, like, I think stand-up is the most competitive.
It's not a healthy way to be, but either, is it?
It's perfectly healthy for stand-up because it keeps you working. To me, the unhealthiest thing would...
But then do you get is there a chance of getting better? And that's not...
Oh, fuck, yeah, I'm better as fuck. Like, but at the same time, but then, no, but there's it is a kind of a journey. Right?
Sometimes there is, sorry for yourself, there is a justified bitterness sometimes.
I wouldn't say it's bitter, it's a frustration. So the way I look at stand-up is, I think, a couple of things. It's one of the most popular art forms. It's one of the most underappreciated. It's one of the hardest, and yet it's the most forgiving. Because if you're shite at guitar, nobody's going to book you, but you can be a fucking nutcase and they'll still hand you a microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think for me, stand-up is
guitar, I don't know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A lot of musicians say that they don't know how, we do it, but I'm like, I suppose it is technically the same as a musical instrument. Once you have the skill right, but our difference is a guitarist can work away in silence in a bedroom for years and then come out and show off a skill.
Aye.
We need to practice a skill live. So he's not going out there learning skills on stage at an open mic.
100%.
But we are learning at all times.
But also there's people in stand-up who turn up with no fucking guitar and think they can play it.
Well, that's it. That doesn't last.
I've never even seen a guitar. It fucking lasts longer than you think. Like, I've been all over the fucking world. There are cunts that in every comedy circuit that I've been to in the world, there's somebody at a gig and all the comedians are going, this cunt's here every fucking week. And like, but
we have them here too. It was in North.
They're all good, listen. Yeah. But that's my thing is like now when it comes to stand up is I go, right, my only competition is me. Yeah. Now it's maybe taking a while to get there. Because like you said about bitterness, it's not bitterness, it's a frustration. When I see sometimes someone who I don't think is that good doing quite well, I go, fair play to them. But then I look at the audience and I go, what the fuck are you doing? Right? When I see things that are frankly shit doing really well, I go, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know that feeling.
Then the flip side is you see someone who's amazing and you go, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my thing is the only thing I can control is how better am I getting better at stand up?
Yeah.
Like, is this hour better than last year's hour? And that's the trajectory you can keep it on. And that's the goal you can aim for then. So is it better than last year?
Yeah, you have to be constantly wanting to improve at least.
Yeah. And I just think if you get to the point where you go, oh, like, I'm happy enough doing this, nothing's going to change. Like, if I was bitter, like, because I've met comedians who, I remember talking to a guy one night who had the same set for 20 odd years and was raging about Peter Kay being famous. And I was in a bar with him going, but Peter Kay wrote ours.
Yeah.
Peter Kay did, you've 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I learned pretty early on, you can sit and dream all you want. And I'm still sort of guilty of having a wee dream where someone's going to go, oh, this guy, let's get him. But for a lot of people that had 20 minutes, got picked, okay, you're going to be famous. And they're like, fuck, I've been bluffing this whole time.
The skill has to be there. You have to be crafting it. And like a musical instrument or anything else, you know, you'll only keep getting better if you keep doing it.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it.
Better than I was last time.
But again, it's that thing. If you only play the same 3 chords over and over again, you're never going to progress.
And also, I'm not afraid of dying on stage.
I was in the past, and now I'm not.
Yeah, you learn way more, but down your hole than you do, but doing well.
And it's something I always I used to hate was silence. I don't mean silence as in them not laughing. I just mean even a pause between going on to the next line. I would be afraid. In the past, I was always afraid, oh fuck, that leaves too much of a gap for somebody to heckle or shout. Yeah. So you rush through your set. Next thing you know, when you listen back, you're going, fucking the speed I'm going through that.
Talked over my own jokes. Yeah.
So now I'm more than happy to embrace the silence and leave that wee bit of gap and be confident enough in that. But that took about 6 years, 7 years. Like, it's fucking hard to get used to that.
I had a really lovely moment last night. I was talking to Jordan Robinson at Lavery's. And so it's just me being like, I just feel great about myself right now. And that, by the way, that's peaks and troughs, because there's times where you're in the house going, I can't think of anything, and this is a fucking nightmare. But I can't remember what it was I did, but it was like an act out, and I got an applause break. And Jordan Robinson said he turned to the prevailing comedians and went, he didn't even say anything. I was like, that's right, motherfucker. But I'm in a weird state. Maybe we should plug some shows. I'm going on tour in August, and the Waterfront show is about 2/3 sold out now.
Yes, so.
And I can safely say this, that my next hour is better than last year's, and I thought last year's was a belter. We're in fucking
gentlemen.
We're feeling good about this next one.
We're terrible at this because I caused a wild handling by turning up in Crumlin last week. And then not letting people know that it was there. I'm terrible at that. The amount of patrons going, I can't believe you're fucking in Crumlin just around the street. I was like, oh, sorry.
Somebody messaged me to say I was doing a gig in Lisburn last weekend.
Oh, what was
and
that?
I was like, I absolutely wasn't.
And
I freaked out.
Did you find out what that was about? No.
I think I'm doing a gig in that bar at some point in the future, but not like.
So yes, we're bad at that, so we should do that now. Coming to the end of the podcast, let's talk about where are we coming up. So you're going to have a lot more than I have. You have 2 tours or 1 tour.
So I'm doing a tour every weekend in August. I'm going to be touring around the north. So we're going to be in
Dailies has been added at Noma, so I know that for sure.
Dailies, we're going to be in in Warren Point. We're going to be Ballymena, Armagh, in the marketplace in Armagh, Big Room Armagh, which could be an interesting one because I did Armagh 2 months ago.
Right.
But it'll be a completely different show. So yeah, there we go, good man, James. So yeah, we're in the marketplace, Armagh, Townhouse, Castledurg, Townhouse, fucking right. Number 7 Duke Street in Warren Point, Warren Point's been moved to September actually. I don't remember. There's been a fuck up, not on my part, somebody else's fault. Riverside and Coleraine, Terrace Hotel, Marfelt, and then the Braid in Ballymena. So it's going to be a fun wee fucking summer tour.
Nice.
And I think there's other stuff. There's other gigs popping up about the place. Get tickets to the tour, get tickets to the Waterfront, because the Waterfront's the one where I'm like,
let's make this a fucking party night. Like.
Yeah.
Let's wreck Belfast.
Like, it's.
Or I think we're staying up and all.
Oh, for 100%. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, are you doing support for this one?
I don't care if I was. I'm still going to be there. If you've somebody lined up, work away. But either way, I'll be there partying.
I will stay on the block. It's. The thing I'm worried about now is going, I have an hour there and it's great. And it's going, right, turn my brain off and then just not working.
Yeah.
So I'm just going, the way I'm working now is going, right, that works, boom, what's next? That works, boom. Like, so I'm going to try and have 2 hours come the end of the year as opposed to 1.
Well, here's the difference. When you just said there, you didn't support Waterfront Hall, I shit myself. And that's the difference. Because I'm going, I don't have anything for it.
Aye.
And that's not the fucking when.
2nd of December.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here now and fucking May going.
That's
I won't have any.
That's why I keep telling you, you need to book a tour so you have to write an hour.
I know. I'm doing Strabane tonight, so this is whatever date tonight is, the 26th or whatever, and I'm trying a set that I've only tried once, and it went really well, but I tried it in dailies about 5 years ago and never really done it in public since. So I'm trying that tonight, and I'm shiting myself because I don't know.
That's the best bit.
I know.
Do you know
Well,
what I mean? Because what happens? People don't laugh. Ah, well.
Aye.
Now, if they're consistently not laughing, quit.
Oh well, yeah. No, I have to say, without sounding like I've never had that. I've never had a 7 or 10 minutes or 20 minutes where there's been no laughter. Oh. I've had bits where jokes have died and.
You get to go anyway.
I've had laughter where it's like 4 or 5 people, but I've never had something where it's just absolute tumbleweed silence.
Aye.
You know, it's.
I have. Loads of times.
But I couldn't have imagined you doing that in maybe a corporate, but I can't imagine that ever happened to you in a comedy club.
Oh, it has happened. Like, fucking hell, I've died in my whole.
But see, I've seen this before. This is a cunt that he is too. I'm talking about, I mean dying as in.
Crickets, tumbleweeds?
Aye.
Loads of times.
Well, I've never seen it in my 11 years now, so you must have been in the first 3 years, which would make sense.
It's definitely happened.
It hasn't fucking happened since I've been right. I've never ever of all the comedians I've seen, I have never seen you die.
It has happened, like, and not to sound cocky, there's times where I go, fuck, I died there, and that's somebody else's best gig ever.
That's what I mean.
But I mean,
your standard.
But there's also been fucking. I did the Empire about 3 months ago and I had shit for 25 minutes. Like for 25 full minutes, I was like, this isn't working at all.
Again, if you talk to somebody in the audience, do they think the same? Because you have a different standard.
To me, it was like completely got the tone in the room wrong.
Right. That can happen in Empire, doesn't it? It does happen quite
I actually
easily.
feel like I died supporting Geddes in the SSE.
Right.
But I don't think it did. But I remember having such a bad cold. It was like, this isn't even fun.
But I think it's hard to judge on warm up.
Aye.
Especially at a big venue, because all you're doing is talking to people getting their seats.
Aye.
And all you're trying to deliver punchlines to people who've been distracted by people trying to get their seats. And like the worst thing is, Ulster Hall is a good example of it. You can see it happen in real time. You're doing material, but you can see somebody going, I think I'm in this thing.
Aye.
And then other people are looking at them, and then they were looking at you, and then their heads are all turning that way to say, and I'm like, oh, hurry up to fuck us. But yeah, no, so that's your tour for August. I don't know. Oh, I did Draperstown actually on Saturday night, which was a fucking belter.
I love that gig.
Paddy Glasgow and Stella Glasgow have done a fucking great job up there, so we're gonna maybe do a wee Deckchair and Yumz night.
I think it's a great idea.
Invite you up in September sometime.
Oh, happy days.
Have you done that Marafelt gig yet? No.
I did it on tour right before the pandemic.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm actually doing it tonight.
Was it tonight you're in there? I'm there on
the club tonight, and then the tour in August.
So I'm there on the 30th of June, I think is the last. So it's the last Thursday of the month.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'll be in Marafelt for that night.
I'm being kind of slying. I'm going down to be like, guys, I'm doing an actual other show here. So if you enjoy it,
just plugging it. Yeah, it's like doing the 10 minutes of the.
I'll just be there, like fucking, you know what I mean?
It's like doing the 10 minutes of the compilation show in Edinburgh, just to sort of preview going outside with flyers. No.
Also, I might be going to the Edinburgh Festival for a couple of days.
Oh, sir.
Maybe chatting about it. So just keep your eyes on the old socials and see if.
I'd love to do a live podcast over there, but you'd never get the venue.
I wouldn't.
We have a lot of people who listen from.
Yeah. But I would rather just do stand up at it. I think there's the fringe for me is like. Even if I'm going for 4 days, I want to gig 7 times each day.
All right, yeah.
So the idea of setting something up and being like 2, 2, 1, 2, I'm like, nah, jump on. Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?
Sorry, what do you set up whenever we?
Most of the punchlines. Anyway, thanks for listening. We're going to jump on to Patreon now and answer some questions from the audience. If you like the podcast, join us on Patreon. If you don't like it, why you listen to it? You fucking loser. All the best. See you later.
What's up, motherfuckers?